I really wish you had recorded your horrible introduction. Thank you, Jeremy. My name is Eric, and I am a drug addict. And it's an honor and a privilege to sit here before you guys and share something that I have experience with, something that saved my life, something that I hope to share with you guys in hopes that you might relate to it or you might identify with it, in hopes that you might grab onto this thing and give it a try. Just like any of the other steps, the best motivator to do this step is that first step for me, and that is being convinced that I am completely screwed, right? That powerless over drugs and my life being completely unmanageable is what makes all of this not worth doing, but like necessary for doing. And I'm going to read just a little bit out of here, and then I'm going to share my experience. So, having made our personal inventory, what shall we do about it? We have been trying to get a new attitude, a new relationship with our Creator, and to discover the obstacles in our path. We have admitted certain defects. We have ascertained in a rough way what the trouble is. We have put our finger on the weak items in our personal inventory. Now these are about to be cast out. This requires action on our part, which, when completed, will mean that we have admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our defects. This brings us to the fifth step in the program of recovery mentioned in the preceding chapter. This is perhaps difficult, especially discussing our defects with another person. We think we have done well enough in admitting these things to ourselves. There is doubt about that. In actual practice, we usually find a solitary self-appraisal insufficient. Many of us thought it necessary to go much further. We will be more reconciled to discussing ourselves with another person when we see good reasons why we should do so, right? And that's something that, like, I was asking myself. It's like, I've made this inventory. What's the point of sharing this with somebody else? Why do I have to give this to somebody else? Why do I have to go to somebody and I have to tell them these things? And this book does a really good job at outlining, like, why this stuff is important. And the best reason first, if we skip this vital step, we may not overcome drinking. And again, the understanding of that first step and, like, really feeling that at my core, that I'm powerless and my life is unmanageable, made it so everything I was told to do, working these steps, it was just easy. Like, hey, you want me to write this inventory? No problem. You want me to start praying to this thing that I don't understand or know or believe in? Sure, whatever you say. You want me to share this stuff with you? Whatever, man. I don't care. Anything is better than what I had going on. Time after time, newcomers have tried to keep to themselves certain facts about their lives, trying to avoid this humbling experience. They have turned to easier methods. Almost invariably, they got drunk. Having persevered with the rest of the program, they wondered why they fell. We think the reason is that they never completed their house cleaning. They took inventory all right, but they hung on to some of the worst items in stock. They only thought they had lost their egoism and fear. They only thought they had humbled themselves. But they had not learned enough of humility, fearlessness, and honesty in the sense that we find it necessary until they told someone else all their life story. And where I was at this step is I'm living in a halfway house. I've got this inventory, and I feel like crap, right? I'm looking at, like, all these things that I've done. I know I have to go and share it with this person. I've written that fourth column, and I see my part in it, and I feel about 2 feet tall, right? I see my part in all this stuff. And I don't know. I can see it all. I can see where I'm selfish. I can see where I'm dishonest. I can see where I'm self-seeking. And that's where a solitary appraisal is insufficient, right? I've been thinking about this stuff my whole life, right? I've never used it as it's outlined in this book and what it's used for. What's this used for is it's a tool. It's a tool to be used to block, like, what's in between me and God, right? And I go over to this guy's house, and I'm nervous, just like I am right now. I'm shaking. I don't know how to, speak in public. I don't know how to talk to people. And we sit down, and I'm full of anxiety, and I'm full of fear, and I know where I'm going to have to share this stuff with him. I don't know if he's going to, like, kick me out of his house. I don't know if he's going to tell me to leave. He's got, like, nice furniture, and he's got a family and valuables in his house. And I'm going to tell him how, like, I stole from my mom and I used to beat on my grandma. I'm going to have to share all this stuff with him. And, like, I'm like, I don't want to tell this man this. I'm just desperate for people to like me, is what it is. Like, I really need you to like me. And I finally find this welcomed attitude in Drug Addicts Anonymous, and I'm going to share this stuff with him, and he's going to freak out, and he's going to kick me out of his house. And the complete opposite happened. We sat down. He's like, all right, let me share a couple things with you, kind of make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And he told me some stuff that he did before I even said anything. And I was like, holy crap, this guy is screwed up. Like, I have no problem sharing anything with him. And I start going through this list, right? And the written inventory that we do, right, the resentments, the fears, and our sex conduct, right, that's to see, like, what my defects are, to see where my faults are, to see what's blocking me from this higher power. But what was, I don't know, more difficult for me, I guess, was what it talks about coming up here. It's more than most people, the alcoholic leads a double life. He is very much the actor. To the outer world, he presents his staged character. This is the one he likes his fellows to see. He wants to enjoy a certain reputation, but knows in his heart he does not deserve it. The inconsistency is made worse by the things he does on his sprees. Coming to his senses, he is revolted at certain episodes he vaguely remembers. These memories are a nightmare. He trembles to think someone might have observed him. As fast as he can, he pushes these memories far inside himself. He hopes they will never see the light of day. He is under constant fear and tension. That makes for more drinking. And I was chock full of that, right? With some of these things that I had that I was holding on to, that I was wanting to take to the grave. And this guy just opened the door for me by sharing the stuff that he had done. And it kind of freed me up to get off my chest what I had going on. And I can say that more than my third step, more than amends, more than anything else, it was after completing this with another member of this fellowship, I walked away with like the feeling of the presence of God, right? I felt like something was there. Something was going to be okay. I felt like I was a part of something at last, right? And the rest of this just kind of smoothed out. It became easy. And I'm going to read a little bit about the promises and then probably close it up. So it says on page 75, for anybody that's following along, we pocket our pride and go to it, illuminating every twist of character, every dark cranny of the past. Once we have taken this step, withholding nothing, we are delighted. We can look the world in the eye. We can be alone at perfect peace and ease. Our fears fall from us. We begin to feel the nearness of our Creator. We may have had certain spiritual beliefs, but now we begin to have a spiritual experience. The feeling that the drink problem has disappeared will often come strongly. We feel we are on the broad highway, walking hand in hand with the Spirit in the universe. And when I left his house, I remember how I felt when I walked in the door and how I felt when I walked out. And it was like I was a completely different person. And it made the rest of this work, my experience, just easy, right? It was just, now I'm going to go out and make amends. Now I'm going to go out and do this. And it was, I don't know, best thing that ever happened to me. So that's all I got.
Thank you, everyone.